Phil motherfucking Collins. I can't that motherfucker.
Wow, really?
That makes...
Hold on.
They should just play that in the...
waiting for this moment with all my life. Hold on.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Belfort. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I done popped the Molly and I think it's be my third.
What is going on, DJ Nation? Kenny Kim here, bring you another Fantasy Golf Degenerates podcast this week for the Black Desert Classic. As usual, I am here with everybody's favorite South African, Byron Lindeque. Byron, what is up, my friend?
Kenny, nothing better than black dessert, my man. It's a very, very tasty molten lava cake, one of my favorites. Let's get into it, baby.
All right. As usual, our pod is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Mayo. Get a bonus, get a deposit match bonus up to $1,000. Get on that now. It's really been the only thing saving me this season. That and the gambling. The betting was good. Let's talk about this past week, though, what we saw. I just feel bad for Keith, man. He couldn't get it done. The 3-putt on 18, and it was so bad because of like what he did on 17. Because that approach to save par was sick. Almost holding out with his third shot on 17. That's where I thought he was going to have some issues. But he came through, chipped it out, made the hard up and down, and got to 18. And got on it too. Did what the leader is supposed to do at that time. And right before him, Kevin Yu goes in, drains that bomb, and then the rest is history for Mr. Killer Keith Mitchell, who 3-putts that, misses the playoff. Bo Hostler makes a nice little putt, nice little save on 18 to hold on to the lead. He hit it way left into the trees, chipped it out, and hit a nice little recovery on his third. Overall, pretty exciting week.
Killer Keith, Kenny, the only person in round 4 inside the top 10 to lose strokes on the day. Everyone else gained at least a stroke inside. He just don't got it, man. He's one of the most unclutched guys I've ever seen. Bet the guy top 20. Now in these full swing events, you can probably go top 10. But
it feels like he has more than one win. Like, we've been talking about Keith Mitchell for a decade almost. Yeah. Like, weekly on this show, like, he just coming up and his name is mentioned probably more than almost anybody else, just because he plays a lot of events. He plays a lot of these type of events. You think about it, when he started his career, probably, big hitter, bomber, the stats are always there. I thought it would be a little bit easier for him. It hasn't been easy. It's been a little tough, and this last one had to have hurt badly. Kudos to him for actually going in and doing the interview right afterwards. I thought that was, really classy, because I would have, just broken clubs and thrown shit and, done all types of outrageous shit, because I would be so angry about that. Have you ever gotten that angry on a course? I can't imagine what he must have felt, because he was putting to secure the win, right? For the win, and then he had a putt for the playoff, and he missed them both, only from 30 feet, inside of 30 feet. And these greens are some of the easiest greens to putt on tour.
Yeah, he lost a full stroke on that green.
On that green, right? Angry. Have you ever been that? You didn't see that pissed off. I would have been breaking shit.
You see, I think, Kenny, in that moment, you just way more like it's the classic parents thing. I'm not mad. I'm just really disappointed right now. Yeah. And I think that's exactly what happens when you're so ramped up, you can't get mad. You just let down. And I think you get mad when you finish 12th. And not top 10. That's when I spiked a sandwich this year. I told Mike when we were in Montreal, I'm not replacing it, because I broke it and I put new grips on, and it's a punishment now. Next year, I get to replace that club. if I break more than 2 clubs in a year, I'm going to be down to 13 clubs every time I tee it up. You know, like it's got to have an honor system going on.
See, so that's what happens when you're good at something, because everyone knows Byron played college golf. He's a very good golfer, right? Me, you know, I've been around a 10 to a 20 handicap my whole life, just depending on like how much beer I drink.
That's
like
where I am right now, Kenny.
Oh,
that's my problem.
Okay, that is a problem then. But I mean, for me, it's, you know, I'm on the 20 side right now, and it's and I'm resigned to the fact, you know, that I suck. So I don't get that angry. Like, I've seen people get super angry on the course. I'll never forget when my buddies in college, we were playing at the Virginia Tech course. Back when I went to Virginia Tech, they actually had a course on campus where you could walk to from the dorms. And you played for like $12. Like, it was great. And so played there. I was playing with a buddy of mine. He was like, he played high school. He was really good, probably like a low single digit handicap, like plus, fives. Not plus, but like a 5 or a 6 or something like that. And he missed a 9 iron, threw it into a tree, wrapped around a limb, and we spent about 20 minutes trying to get it out.
There's nothing
college
worse.
Kids. We're poor. It's not like you can afford clubs pretty easily. You had to at least get the head back.
What? It was a 3-wood.
We were no, it was a 3. I think it was like a 9 iron. It was like an essential club. You know what I'm saying? Like a club you use like all the fucking time, right? But yeah, I've just resigned to the fact that I suck. So I don't even get angry. I get like internally angry, and then I just drink more, and then I'm happy again. But anyways, Killer Keith just doesn't get it done. He has to be getting used to this because it's been a while. I think, what was the last one? Like 2018? I don't know. I could be wrong. Totally off base about that. But that's the year that comes into my head, and could be wrong. But it's been a while. It's been a while. Like those motherfuckers said, it's been a while.
First top 5 in over 12 months. This one.
Oh, really? Yeah. See, and that was why he was my fade of the week.
Yeah.
Because like he hadn't had a top 5 in forever. Right, and he was the highest priced golfer in the field.
Yeah.
He ended up paying off. Okay, he ended up paying off. Sucks. My fade of the week has usually been good this year on Dub's Corner.
Yeah,
it was one of them weeks. Now, one thing I do want to talk about this past week, the coverage. Okay, on Friday, is Golf Channel listening? Because it was from like 4:30 on. It was all about the cut. They had a cut line leaderboard, like on the side of your screen that showed like what the current cut was, all the golfers that are at or near the cut, like, and it would show like at one point it went from like, okay, Panda Norman, he was on the cut line -5. It shows shot on a par 5 to par chip, over a bunker, 2 feet for birdie to Val Mackey, 8 feet for par. The stay on the cut line. These are all back to back to back. Then Fur, birdie, a chance on 14. He's 2 off the cut. I think he makes it. And all this is happening repeatedly because it's Friday and, the ad revenue is low. So they don't show as many commercials, first off, in the Thursday and Friday coverage as they would on a Saturday and Sunday coverage where it costs more money and they make more money. And so because of that, you're seeing like all this amazing golf on the cut line that means so much. Like I was shook. I was like, this is exactly what we wanted.
Dude, like, imagine they started adding ownership percentage to like the biggest GPP to that, like on the leaderboard, they have ownership percentage.
As a sponsor, yeah.
And hold percentage.
I think that might go like, too much for like the cash.
Now. But we are just bringing this into the world.
The people that we are is like 2%, 5%. What do you think? The gambling public.
I think there's more gamblers than DFS. So maybe
that watches golf. That watches golf religiously.
20% of people that watch golf bet on it.
20? You think it's that high?
15 to 20. I think it's a good market research to do because I think there's a lot, like when you look at the handle for the week and it's Scotty Scheffler through the moon and golf Twitter is not on him at all because we've got this 4X rule, 7X rule. Why is Scotty Scheffler through the moon? It's because there's casuals, So there's people that watch this stuff that just bet, that don't exist on Twitter. And I think maybe getting like betting more on the, like, don't have to show it all the time. You just like every 10 minutes, you like click it and it expands the thing up a little bit, shows a bit of betting, cool information. Boom, done. You know, like you can see what the current odds are.
They tried that on like a major, like an alternate channel. Like I remember,
yes,
it didn't really work. It didn't really work that well. I think it would have to be something like, you know, that comes in very little. You know, it doesn't have to show me all the time. You know, give me like one little nugget an hour. Boom, like in the side. That's it. You know, something like that. But I mean, the way they did it was I mean, they went back to back. All these guys at or near the cut line, showing every shot. It was freaking glorious. Here was the problem. Okay. The issue I had with this is because I was at home at this point in time, and I was a little bit late turning in a proposal for work. I'd already talked to the project manager of the client that I was turning it into. He was cool with a little bit of time because we had some shit going on that morning, last second stuff. And so I'm on the couch, and you know I have golf on, and you know, it's low volume, and I noticed like, what is that? Is that the cut line leaderboard? Like, what is going on? And I had like this important ass proposal sitting in front of me that I have to do. And I keep getting like drawn to the TV because, I mean, they're showing shot after shot. It's important shots, right? Like, because these guys are fighting for like, especially like in the fall. Like, you know, if you're like a person who's really into golf, and, you know, these guys are fighting for their fucking livelihoods, basically, if they're playing in the fall. So, like, making this cut line is fucking huge for a lot of these dudes, right? And you're just watching it. I'm just so engrossed in the coverage. Like, you know, outside of a major, like, I can't remember, like, something that's not been, like, on a Sunday where I've just been, like, engrossed in the coverage. I'm like, holy shit, like, what is going on? This is fucking incredible. Majors and, like, Sundays of, like, certain events. It's usually the only time I feel something. I felt that on Friday. And of course, I'm talking about this longer and longer, and I forgot about the proposal. I'm like, oh shit! And like, I'm trying to do it last second, but like, shit's still hot on the TV. I'm like, oh fuck! And I'm getting it done. Finally, turn it in. Right? We get a call this afternoon. We won the job.
Let's go, baby.
Now, the problem now, okay. I just got the call like 35 minutes ago. It's almost 7 o'clock. Like 2 hours ago, I got the call. Like right around 5 o'clock. I just got into a site visit. I've gotten home. Maybe we're closer to 5:30 today. We're recording this at 7 o'clock now. He calls me. He's like, "We got the job." I'm like, "Oh shit, awesome!" And so, as an estimator, you know, it's like, you know, jubilation. You're like, we won, blah blah blah. But now that I'm sort of have a little bit of experience being an estimator, it's like jubilation for like 35 seconds. Like, it sort of sucks now, right? I mean, like, it's jubilation for 35 seconds and then like panic attack of like, okay, did I get everything? Like, how much did we fucking win by? First off, give me that number. Okay, so I can have some type of peace of mind, right? At least let me be close to the other motherfuckers. So I'm like, okay, I got everything, right? Right? Of course, I don't get the other number. So like in my head right now, I'm just frazzled, because of that. And even though it's a good thing, you know, $500,000 million job, it's, you know, it's a nice job. You know, it's for a good cause. I'm not going to say, but it's a very, very good cause too. The place we're building for. So I wanted to win this job. But now, because I know, like, it wasn't my normal 100% focus, like at the very end of the job, because of the fucking golf coverage being so fucking good at that point in time, like, I'm stressing the fuck out. So great for Golf Channel, right? Awesome Golf Channel for doing this. But the timing could not have been fucking worse, because now it's just 100% stress. And I realized I did a lot of like extra stuff for this job that I normally don't do, because I really wanted to win the job. Like, me personally buying some of the material from wholesalers and stuff like that, instead of our subs buying it, which is a lot easier. You're like, yeah, you buy it, you get the right amount, and you get the right stuff. Now I have to do that for this job because I really wanted to win this job. And so, yeah, I'm stressing out a little bit. So
Home Depot will solve all your problems.
No. If you've ever worked with Home Depot, if you've ever really worked with Home Depot, that answer the hell fucking no. Okay. I didn't. No.
Yeah, my dad's a flooring installer, and he does the same thing. Like no, we're not doing that. No, never deal with the corporations. Never.
No. Home Depot. No. Because I mean, they got these people's never done the work before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you do find a few guys in those stores that are
if you really want to go to a hardware store and find somebody and that's not super mom and pop, that's that has a little bit of structure, Ace. Okay? Ace Hardware is an American success story. Is basically what it is. It's the number 3 tool or that type of store behind Lowe's and Home Depot in America. But it's totally independently run, each store, right? It's some guy that lives in your area. He owns the store. And so prices are a little bit more expensive, right? But this guy is some 68-year-old man who was in the industry for 45 years, right? Who owns this place now, and that's how all the Ace Hardwares are that's how they're run. All they got in there are people who know what the fuck they're talking about. And so you go in there, and so of course I never go in there anymore because I work for a general contractor, and we're not going to pay those prices. But as a person, an individual who has maybe a couple of extra dollars that they can spend on projects, go to Ace. These days, it's the best. It's an American success story. So these people work with you. It's great. I don't know how we got on this topic.
That's sweet. It's
because we're starting this pod so bad jump, right? We're starting this pod so much later than usual, and I am already in 8 o'clock buzz mode. Right,
he's had his medicine. Yeah,
that's why I think. This is the go. Anyways, Golf Channel, awesome. You might have fucked me, but thanks.
Now that people know where to buy their drills, Kenny. Now that people know.
Hardware. It's the American success story. All right. Before we move on, let's have a commercial break from our sponsor. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. I personally like the pick'em games. Pick whether your favorite players will have a higher or lower stat total in this week's game for a chance to win big. Can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. Pick between 2 and 5 players to build a pick'em entry. Can also make rivals picks, which pits 2 players against each other. Now, the reason I like the pick'em games is because of these things called scorchers. There's these little chili peppers next to the golfers' names, and if you click on that, it adds to your multiplier, so you can win even more money. Sign up today with promo code Mayo and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www. All right, so we're back. We're going to come back with the at kickbackgolf.com betting segment for this week. Make sure you go to kickbackgolf.com. Use promo code FGD15. Get yourself 15% off all the cool merchandise that they have in stock. I mean, you can get these Sung Jae Im basketball jerseys, Tiger Woods, Stanford Cardinals baseball jersey, Scotty Scheffler, University of Texas baseball jersey, Dustin Johnson, Coastal Carolina basketball jersey. They have it all. They have it all. Go to kickbackgolf.com. Use promo code FGD15. Save yourself 50% on all their cool shit. All right, so let's get to our bets for this week. Byron, who you going with this week? What bets do you got?
All right, Kenny. I've got 4 outrights right now. I'm going with my main man and short course savant, Seamus Power. Now, it's a 73-40, 73-80 kind of golf course this week, but it's in Utah, so I'm sure we'll get into the course description here shortly. But Seamus Power, 28-1, FanDuel. Let's rock and roll. I think this is going to be short positional. If you find yourself off the fairways, you are hitting out of lava. So, fun stuff.
Not real fucking lava, motherfucker shit. People would die.
Not molten.
Be like Anakin.
Not molten. It's
the
like,
low ground.
Right. What? Hold on. We need to do the course preview now because I want to know what you think about this golf course, Kenny.
Oh, no, I was just, whenever I think of lava, I just think of, Anakin melting in the fucking lava pits from Star Wars. That's what I was talking about.
There's going to be some.
Like the guy I hit. Remember the guy I hit? He started walking to the curb. He started he reminds me of Anakin when he fucking was in the lava.
When he had
Okay.
Ground. Okay, go ahead.
Seamus above ground. Above the lava, out the lava, on the greens, let's go. The guy balled out nicely. Top 11 finished last week, looking like 28-1's a very fancy number. Seamus loves to beat up on these crappy fields, and there's not that many big names in this field.
What number did you get?
28, FanDuel, right now, looking at it.
Okay.
Love that number. Then Michael Thorbjornsen. Let's lay that Thorbjornsen hammer down in the lava lands, baby. This guy, it's a resort golf course, so you can find yourself just peppering fairways all day, or you can just bomb it out there. There's some wide-ass fairways that some power can overtake this golf course. If we're going to see birdies and birdies, I like him on a resort-type course like we saw him in at Silver's last few months ago. He was playing some good golf. Then your boy, Jacob Bridgman. Back at him, 50-1. Same thing. Lots of length. If it happens at this golf course, it's going to happen at this golf course. Not a lot of good names in this field. Jacob Bridgman, 50-1. Played nicely last week as well. And then, 60-1. Daniel motherfreaking Berger, baby. Let's go. Double bacon cheese Daniel Berger. It's going to happen. We saw him at the top of the leaderboard through 2 days of golf. Like, he's starting to feel now.
And he said afterwards that he's the healthiest he has been.
Yes.
So that is very interesting. I do love him in DFS.
60-1 as well. So the highest odds on the board. So Seamus, Michael Thorbjornsen, Jacob Bridgman, Daniel Berger, my four guys. I'll be rocking out the placements and other bets on the show tomorrow when Kenny joins me for Underdog, if that's out there. If not, I'll be on there knocking it out. Tuesdays, 7 Eastern, Mayo Media Network. Back 9 bets, baby. Let's go.
I like the glove. I'm not wearing the glove. That's who I like at 30-1 this week. Coming off, of course, its third place finish last week. I did bet him live, which at 20-1 on Saturday night, which helped because when Keith Mitchell, of course, missed had that 3-putt, it ended up giving him, Mitchell and Glover, a tie for third, giving me a little bit of place because I had him three places each way. So that helped out. Of course, I did win an underdog again as well. Last week, make sure you get to underdogfantasy.com. Use promo code Mayo. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's been since February, and I'm still winning. I'm a fucking moron, right? And I won 15K on underdog. Right now, you get matched up to $1,000. You put $2,000 in, you get 1,000 back. You get 1,000 in bonus. Why not? You got NFL going, Pat's putting all his shit out for it. You might as well do it. Anyways, going back to the Glover. I like Glover. 13th third, last couple of appearances out. I like it when he gets hot, like we saw last season, when he got hot towards the end of the year. Anybody else in this field was thought about for the Ryder Cup last year?
It's a good point.
So
good points.
I don't think so. And you can get 30-1 with 8 places. You can get him 45-1 with 3 places, right? I want to go ahead and take the glove on this. He's long enough, and his irons are notoriously strong. So I'm going to go ahead and take him 30-1. I like Ryan Fox at 30-1 as well. Again, another guy who can hit it out there. He's really strong off the tee, who's strong with his wedges. I think you need good wedge play here to do well. And I think Fox sort of fits that mold. Again, 30-1, 8 places. I'm going with Thorbjornsen with you as well. Another 30-1. Oh, I'm sorry. Ryan Fox is 33-1 with 8 places. Thorbjornsen 30 to 1. Again, a long guy who can, get streaky with the putter, and he can make a shit ton of birdies. Like I think this is his first event as a professional. I think so. He can actually like get the money. I think. Don't quote me on that. He might have already been, but I know he's been an amateur for a while. So either he just turned pro or he's turning pro this week. So he's going to be able to get that money. And he's a birdie maker. I like him 30 to 1, just like Byron. And I got a couple of long shots who are just, who can hit it out there and who can get hot with the putter. Peter Quest Alejandro Tosti, 180 to 1, 8 places. A guy who could bomb it off the tee. And, he's had like 3 like spike events in his career and like 24 events played, right? Where he's spike putting of like 4.5 more strokes or better, right? And I think that, in this course, you can either hit it long or, and be good with your wedges, and get it close with your wedges, or you can get a hot putter. Hit a bunch of fairways and just get a hot putter. Because that's the way this course, I think it lays out.
Big greens,
and so this guy can hit it long, and you've seen him with a hot putter a few times in his career already. Now, Peter Quest actually has been much better with the putter. Again, another long guy who could pound it out there pretty far. He's going to be 200 to 1 with 8 places, who can also get, it seems like every other event, he's spiking at least 2.5 or more with his putter. Like, that's what you're looking for, like something like old school Bryson, who will just pound it out there and make the putts. Something like Cameron Champ, when he used to play and win events like these in the fall, who I actually clicked the bet for 75 to 1, but I cashed out because I decided I'm going to hold off and maybe place one more bet after these 5. And I'm really leaning towards Power, who you can get at 45 to 1 with 3 places right now on Bet 365. So that's tempting. I'm going to add another one. We'll see how it is. I'll put it up on Gup's Corner on Wednesday. But those are going to be my 5 for the week. All right, so let's actually get to this week and the course. We get a brand new course. The funny thing is I used to love these, like putting in all the work and grinding. And now, like after 10 years, Mike, how many episodes are we right now?
Oh, geez. I think we're like 330 something. I think. No, 380 something. Yeah, I think it's around that mark. Yeah, okay. I have it. So I'll find it for you.
So we're almost at 400 episodes doing this. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with the story. I had something that I was going to say.
Don't like doing course write-ups because you're lazy.
There we go. So in the beginning, you grind it out, you do all the work, and you love the new courses. You put all the work in now. I'm like, fuck, new course. I got to figure out all this shit. I'm going to do it, folks. I'm going to fucking do it. I did it.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, can you?
I did it, but, I'm like, God damn, a new course. So we're going to go for it. We'll talk about this. It's been a long time that we've been doing this pod, and there was something else that I was going to bring up. I'll remember it at some point in time. Just remember this part right here, and then when you hear it, it'll make sense later. Maybe, if I remember. But let's get to the course. Let's get to the course for this week. All right, the PGA Tour. It heads to Utah for the Black Desert Championship. This is a new course on tour, and in real life, as the course fully opened, oh, shit, I really wrote that wrong. I'm going to have to change that. All right, this is a new course on tour. It fully opened in the spring of 2023, so it's very, very new. This Weiskopf designed course will be unique and should be pleasing to the eye on TV. At first look, it seems like the only true defense of the course is weather and wind. The wind looks light right now, so I would expect a lot of birdies on a low-scoring contest where the winner, it could be somewhere in like the low to mid-20s under par. Now, there are some caveats to that. Okay. If the wind has to stay light. Okay. The second thing is this is a new course, new greens. Usually, with new greens, it take a couple of years to grow in. And during that time, the greens stay firm. I do not know if it's like that. Nowadays, the technology is a lot better. This was something that happened, 5, 10, 15 years ago all the time. But now with the newer technology, there's been some times where I've noticed where they've played new courses where I've seen new courses where you don't get as much hop that you normally would expect from grass that's just growing in. So we shall see. Now, I expect it to be, easygoing, and be able to not soft, but, be able to get those balls and put a little stop on it, a little bit of spin. They're not going to be super firm. But, that's something to keep an eye on the next couple of days when you're watching on Golf Channel. Again, I think it's going to be an easier type course. Some courses that might play similar to it would be, Summerlin, another desert type course. But like you said, instead of desert vegetation here, you're going to see like lava, weird vegetation. I don't even know, like alien type shit. That's why it's going to be cool on TV, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like that's why it's going to be cool on TV. But like TPC Scottsdale, both are like bed grass greens, desert type golf situations, right? Personally, I think I'm not going to try and overthink it too much on these new courses, especially the way this course looks. It doesn't look like it's too much to really think about. Just hit it out there as far as you can. I'm thinking personally, driver at least 8 or 9 times around, right? With the three reachable par 5s, 2 drivable par 4s, right? And you're going to be able to get at least 3 or 4 on the par 4s. And for the shorter hitters, you might even expect more driver than that. That is what I do expect. We shall see. It's a brand new course, but that's what I do expect. Now, the course, and so that should lead to wedges, a good amount of like 125 to 150, maybe a little bit more than 150, somewhere like the 115 to 165 range, like that sort of range for this course is what I'm looking at. And also guys who make a ton of birdies. I don't think these greens are very, very difficult to putt on. So let's go over the main parts of the course. 7,350 yard par 71. Like I said, the par 3s are pretty short. I do not expect, I think the main defense that they would think in this situation for these par 3s would be wind. They have like a postage stamp hole that's like a small green. It's like less than 100 plus whatever yards, which would be cool if like 15, 20, 25 plus mile per hour winds would be pretty cool, right? If it's like 5, it's going to be target practice. It's going to be target practice for these guys. It's
a resort course.
Yeah,
the greens are big.
To think about hole in one. Yes, I don't know what that number would be, but for like 100-yard hole without that much, a wind.
Yeah, I love it. Man. What 3 of the 4 are like really short holes.
Yeah, you're getting about 500 attempts at it.
Yeah,
right during the week. You would
198 pros. Yeah, 2 of them are wedges, 152s. Yeah.
So, what's the postage symbol? I think it's 10 or 9. You see how long that is?
8, 152.
Okay, that's the shortest one.
And then 17's 151.
Okay.
15, 202, and then 3 is 198. So it's
So I think they can move that. I think they have different tee boxes, and they can really move that close too. So inside the 150. So it is like a flip wedge for some of these guys. I think it's elevated too, and of course you got to play the elevation. So you take about 6% off that, right? So, anyways, so like I said, the course, it sits around 3,100 yards above sea level, like I was just saying. So it plays above sea level in elevation. Probably going to have a 6%, anywhere from 4 to 6%. Is what it'll affect. I'm not a math guy. Sorry. I'm Asian. I have slanty eyes, but my best subjects were English and history. I was the weird Asian kid. And so, that sort of drops the course distance to like 7,000, maybe even less than 7,000. So it's not a long course. It's short enough for potters to have a chance, but I do think this is going to be helpful as there aren't too many hazards off the tee. Off the tee, golfers are going to see 30-plus yard wide fairways. Very little rough. The rough that they do have, 2 inches. Resort course, like you say. The bunkers, supposedly pristine, right? And these guys with a good line, these bunkers without a huge lip in front of them, without wind, it's almost like getting off the fairway for these motherfuckers. I hate them, right? Because I would just chunk sitting it, and it would go like 40 yards in front of me. Now, there's only water on 2 holes. So not that much. Now, here's the thing. Like we were talking about, if golfers miss wildly, they're going to have to deal with lava rock. I'm not sure what lava rock is going to look like or how it's going to affect play.
We're going to see like 500-yard drives because it's going to land on the lava and just shoot.
I do not. Would it be like playing off like the cart path? Like, I don't know. Like, I've never seen lava rock. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a sight. The course is going to be beautiful. It's going to be really nice for TV. So that should be fun. And I think it's a birdie fest. And, sometimes these crazy birdie fests are fun to watch too, right?
There's lava everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And in the lava, there's like sand and like brush and like random stuff. Like I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how it is. But you have to miss like a 30-wide yard, 35 plus yards from the center. You have to miss like wildly to do this. That's why I think, a lot of guys are going to be riding a big dog the whole week. Now, golfers are going to have to deal with whatever happens if they do miss in those lava rocks. Now, on approach shots, golfers see very large greens, 7,000 plus square foot average that don't have too much insulation and slope. There are runoff areas, bunkers, and some rough around the greens, but I wouldn't worry too much about the around the green game. If your golfer's missing, these large greens and these large fairways repeatedly, he's probably toast. Yes. I probably wouldn't, worry too much about the short game. The greens are bent grass, should be pure, with a stip meter around 11 to 12. I haven't really seen the exact yet, but I would say it's going to be around 11 to 12. What are you looking for personally in golfers this week?
Kenny, it's such a mystery. That's why I got the Bob Ross wig on. That's when we paint by numbers, but I think you nailed it. I think resort courses, when you think of resort courses, who goes and plays these courses are built for people that go on vacation. So the fairways are wide as balls and the greens are easy to hit. We're going to see lots of birdies. So like you mentioned, you're looking for guys that can play aggressive golf, make tons of birdies. In my opinion, there's probably like 4.5 par 5s on this golf course with the 2 drivable par 4s, because you're either using a driver or a 3-wood on that hole and relying on the same skill set you do for a par 5. So I think, although there's only 3 par 5s, right, you're looking for par 5 scorers, because that's how you make birdies on those holes, is requiring the same skill set. So if you use par 5 scoring, instead of reducing it this week for the 3 holes, ramp that up, because it's going to be a different way to kind of get different, and we'll see guys that distinguish themselves with that. So birdies, par 5 scoring, and good form. I want guys playing well that played well last week.
All right, that sounds good. Let's get to these tiers. Let's start off in this 10K range. Once again, it's sort of small. We have 4 people. I guess it's around average. We got Big Bo Hostler, who, again, Bo Hostler looks like he whips slaves for a living. Like, I don't...
he was the slave that had to whip the slaves.
Like, that's what he looks like he does. I'm sure he's a nice guy. And again, this is all jokes and fun. But that's what he looks like. He looks like he should be in that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jamie Foxx, right? And he looks like he should be the guy just, making Denzel shed that 1 tear, right? I mean, like, that's what I feel like he looks like. That's why I can't get over, he's like the one guy. Like, I know he's got game. I know, especially early on, and he's on the verge. Obviously, he is on the verge. The guy, him and Aaron Wise, I remember back in the late teens, right? Battled it off. Oregon versus, I'm sure Bo's from Texas. He's got to be, right? I mean, I'm just fucking guessing from here. But, slave master right there, probably from Texas. And so I'm going to go ahead and say, but they had
California. Mission Viejo.
Yeah. Is that where he's from?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'm totally wrong. But anyways, they had a battle, and it was an epic battle in the college finals, the individual finals. I do remember watching that, and I was like, both these guys are going to be stars, is what I thought, between Aaron Wise and Bo Hostler. And, Bo's definitely step ahead of Aaron Wise. I think Aaron Wise is the one that won that, if I'm not mistaken. But talent-wise, of course, he's there. I think obviously he's getting close. He should have a chance. I'm not going to play him because I hate his face. But Byron, who else in this 10K range do you like?
I don't like Bo with you, Getty, so I'm going to leave him alone as well. Keith Mitchell's starting to develop that face. Just grumpy cat Keith, just constantly.
Can he get over what happened last week?
I don't know, because I think he'll be curious, because I like Keith.
Because he fits, right?
To fit this narrative, for sure.
He fits the course.
Yes.
At least what we think the course might play like. We both think probably similar at this point. That, lots of driver. It's going to be advantage to be able to hit that off the tee far, right?
Bar 5 scoring.
And he's number one in birdies better gained in the last 24 rounds. I mean, but can he recover from what happened last week? And you know what? I'm almost leaning yes, because it took a lot of balls for him to do that interview. 3 minutes after he 3-putted and lost, right? Yeah. And to do that, take some cojones. I got mad respect for him when he did that. It actually impressed me about him, and so I sort of want to root for him. Now, I don't think I'm going to use him. What about you? What do you think you can get over? No?
I think ownership dependent. I'm in on Keith because, think about how this course, just ignore last week. He's playing well. He lost last week. Yeah. Now, if he doesn't show up for you, doesn't show up for you. He's the most expensive guy in the field.
That's again. The thing, right? It's fucking Keith Mitchell is the highest price too. Really? Yeah. Really?
I know, but are you going to say Kurt Kitayama's going to do a better job of showing up than Keith Mitchell anyway for like a $400 savings?
Kitty won recently.
I know, but
and he won a signature event, right? Wasn't it a signature event, or am I not the everything? I know it was like a nice. Was it
Bay Hill? Last time he won was Bay Hill.
Was Bay Hill? Okay, I knew it was one of the Florida swing courses.
Maybe it
was Honda or Bay Hill.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I like them all, but it's ownership dependent. I won't be playing Bo up top. Yeah. I think, you got to pick one of the two sore losers, and I'll take Keith. I think he's probably I think Seamus will be very popular this week.
That sucks, because I really think so. Seamus Power with you. I might have to bet him, and then we'll see how much I love him, because I do want to go back to Keith, but I don't know if he can get over what happened last week. But you're right. If you take last week out, if you take the way he lost out, say he birdied 18 after being 2 back to get to...
Everyone's in.
Everyone is like, okay, we're using him. He's probably going to be the highest zone here. But because he had 3-putted, his worst hole, I don't think that might have been his only 3-putt of the week, right? He said in that interview after the 3-putt that he was putting extremely well until 18, right? So, it's tough.
It's ownership, though. If he's chalk, I'm out. That's fine. Let the people go with him. If he's not, then I'm in. I think it's just up top here. Those 3 guys are very interchangeable. I think however more leverage we can get on each guy, I'll be heavily invested on, inversely so. So the less ownership, the more I will own them is how I'm trying to say that. In the 9s, Kenny. Got some names, my man. And names associated with resorts.
Yeah, I'll go with the first guy in my cash game cornerstones. I'm going Patrick Fishburne. I'm going with the narrative, BYU alum from this area, probably familiar with this course. 3 top 10s in his last 5 events. I'll go with that, with him to go ahead and start. Slightly worried about his popularity. Of course, everyone loves the local boy. And so this could change. Again, just, if it does, it would be Wednesday on Gup's Corner. But I'm about 80% sure that I am going to stick with Mr. Patrick Fishburne, because, his iron game's just okay. But he's, above average with his wedges. Yeah. And of course, he's long and he's accurate. Like, he hits it down the middle and he hits it long. A good combination of both, and he crushes the par 5s. top 10 in birdies or better gained in the last 24 rounds in this field. Like I said, 3 top 10s in his last, I think, 5 or 6 starts on tour. I'm going to use him as my first cash game cornerstone. My next cash game cornerstone is going to be Lucas Glover at $9,000. I think we already talked about him a lot in the betting segment. When he gets hot, he tends to stay hot. A golfer of his ilk at $9,000. Again, it was a little bit more than a year ago where people were considering him to be a captain's pick on the Ryder Cup team. I think when it comes to class, he has the class. And so I'm going to go ahead and hopefully ride his coattails, being on a hot streak with 2 top 15 finishes, the 3rd last week, the 13th the week before. Give me a little bit of Lucas Glover as my second cash game cornerstone. Couple of GPPs. I'm going to go with your boy, Van Rooyen, right there, right? Over at $9,900. He's had some good finishes here recently. Again, another guy who could bomb it out there, who's semi-accurate off the tee. I don't know how popular he'll be, but from 125 to 150 and 150 to 175, he's pretty good, well above average. I'm hoping that he's low owned. I don't know. I'll have to check the ownerships. And then there was I don't even know if you can. I mean, McCarty last week was 20% owned. There were some sites. Some sites that projected them at 4.
Yeah,
right.
It's full swing season,
He ended up being 19% on, and I was like you said, you warned people don't think this is Denny McCarthy. That's the first thing I thought. I was like, I know this guy's been killing it on the Korn Ferry Tour, but slow your fucking roll. What's the fuck?
Dude.
Right?
That's where a Discord gets out of control. We can blame Jambo for that stuff.
20%, top 5 highest owned in the field. And I was like, what? So who knows with the ownership projections in the fall? Because, for the, 12 people listening to this show right now, right? I said,
we love you.
Fucked up shit earlier, and no one is going to give a fuck. No one will care. All right. So, other guys, again, and the other foreign person I do like, Ryan Foxy.
It's good.
Again, down here at $9,200. Again, long enough. Really good with his wedges. Not exceptionally wild off the tee. Well above average with his irons. Give me a little bit of Ryan Fox. And, of course, I did bet him. Who do you like in this range?
Kenny, I love a lot of these guys in this range. I think you could easily start in the 9K range.
I think that's going to be popular. And I'm really hoping that keeps Seamus's Power number down, because I do like Power the most up there. I know we didn't talk about it that much, but I really, really like Seamus up here, where he's more than long enough and, really accurate. Again, a good on the par 5s. Tee to green is one of the top 10 best in the field. And, he can putt.
And he wins shitty tournaments, dude. That's what he does. Butterfield Bermuda's coming up. That's Seamus Power's world. So if you don't like that, though, in the 9s, EVR on a resort golf course. He won out in Mexico. That's where he gets his job done, is on these wide fairways where you have to make putts. So, lava versus whatever they call the ravines in Mexico there, same stuff. I think he's going to love this golf course, bent grass greens. That's his jam. South Africans love bent. All right, Chris Kirk. I'm getting Kapalua vibes as well, Kenny. I know it's not think about the wide fairways, the big greens, a lot of wedges. Chris Kirk just showed up there out of nowhere. I think if you're looking for a leverage option in this range, in $9,800 Chris Kirk, he's not going to be very popular, because
when it comes to pure class,
what's he done?
When it comes to pure class, and someone who's been through the ringer and done it, and him and Glover are on the same ilk in this field, I think,
Yeah. So, he's got what it takes to win things if he finds himself in the mix. So, give me Chris Kirk at $9,800. Take a gamble on him there. And then Patrick Fishburne, Ben Griffin, right in this range too. The top of the 9Ks. I'm a big fan. So, I'm going to have to figure my stuff out, because I like a lot of guys at the top here, which is going to be the case. You got to probably whittle down your player pool, because everybody's going to love everybody. It's like everybody loves Raymond at these fall swing events. It's just...
what you could do in this type of situation, where I have done in DFS, is if there's so many guys up here that you like, What you can do is really hold strong and
at the bottom
in the 7K range. Find someone in that 7K range that you really, really like, one or two guys that you're going to be
Daniel Berg,
your top two highest owned, and that you're really going to ride. And then you could divvy out the ownership when it comes up here. Still be above what your, ownership projections are going to be, but, maybe not by triple, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe double, maybe a little bit less than double, right? What the ownership is going to be, and just spread out up here and go, solid core down below in the 7K range. And I like your Berger take on that, because the guy is, like you said, it's from the mouth of babes. Like the guy said, he's as healthy as he's ever been, and his football team sucks so bad that he has to go out there and like do something to, at least get FSU on the board, right? Because God damn it, they fucking blow. And I'm not even a college football fan, and I'm just balls. But anyways, 8K range. My third cash game cornerstone is going to be the Chan Kim at $8,900. Again, I think he's made 5 or 6 of his last 7 cuts on tour. He's definitely long enough and accurate. He's well above average in distance. He's, pretty accurate off the tee as well, above average in par 4s. Really good with his wedges. Again, birdies are better gained in the last 24 rounds. In this field, 6. I think you're going to need a lot of birdies. So I do like him. He'll be my third cash game cornerstone this week. I like the guy right now, Thor Bjornsson. Again, birdie machine, hits it a long ways, is young. Just go out there. And the thing is, he's on an even playing field this week, right? A lot of times with these rookies, especially when you get to the fall swing, you see a lot of the same faces in the fall swing every year, grinding it out. And they're used to these courses. A lot of the guys have played these courses in the fall swing 4 or 5, 6 times or more, right? And so, of course, there's going to be a little bit of an advantage for those veterans. But these rookies now, especially a guy like Thor Bjornsson, who can go out there on a level playing field with everyone else. And every little increment of advantage helps in golf, because, that only little bit is what is the difference between, first and second place, as you can see with what happened to Keith Mitchell last week. I do like Thor Bjornsson. I do think he can win this event because, from a talent level, the guy has mad skill going from college straight to golf. He got that PGA Tour U shit, right? No?
Yes. He's the Ludwig of this year.
Okay, yeah. So I like him. One guy I can go back to, JJ Spawn. I know he withdrew last week, and I want to hear a little bit more, but I think that should keep his ownership down. And again, I think, he was 3 over, right? So maybe he just was like, fuck it. I don't know.
Never know. It could just be a sickness,
Yeah. So I want to keep an ear out and see. But I don't expect him to be highly owned. So you can go with minimal risk in GPPs for JJ Spawn. I don't think he's going to be double-digit owned coming in here with the
unless we get a from the good before reason.
Unless he says he's like, oh, here, I just wasn't stealing. I'm fine now. Or he says something like that. Well, then it's different. Okay. Harry, I suck at English accents. I can't do them. I suck at accents, period. I'm no Tim Andercurse when it comes. Oh, Jesus. Okay, can we talk? I forgot.
Yeah. 8K range.
The curse.
This entire 8K range
curses.
is totally dust. It's toast. Like Harry Hall is gonna.
So we talked about last week how Tim had the most Andercurse thing ever, and finally on the Spreads Pick show last week on the big show, the PME, we finally talked about it. And so what happened was, I guess Jeff gets this text or this DM in the morning, and I think you were there.
I was in bed. Jeff was in bed. Yeah,
and he got up early as shit, and he was like shook. Like, what did he say?
I just received the most jarring message I could have imagined for this kind of situation.
Okay, so Jeff reads us his message, right? It's early, I think, Sunday morning or maybe even Monday morning. I don't remember. And he tells about this guy named Stefan. Really, really nice guy. He's at the event with his family, his father and his family members. and he runs into Tim. Like, he's a big fan of the show. He's a big fan of the network. He watches all the stuff. He supports us. So Stefan, I don't know if you listen to our show, but if you do, shout out to you. Hopefully shit worked out, because I don't know what's happened yet. But so Jeff gets this message, and he's like, yeah. So, I met Tim, shook his hand, and Tim's there. He's talking about it. He's like, yeah, I met the guy. A really, really nice guy. Talked about it. He was a big fan of the show. He was like, and then like Stefan in his message says that, like, Tim is like the guy he really wanted to meet. He's like the number one guy. Like, he's just a huge fan. Right? Shakes his hand, a little bit of dap hugs, all that good shit, like what bros do, right? Anyways, so later on, he gets he writes back that he gets back. He has a great time, watches the whole event, waits a little bit till the crowd thins out, goes back, takes a shuttle to the parking lot to where his car is. And, it's a parking lot that has thousands upon thousands of cars. They're just all parked there, right? I mean, it's where everyone was parking. He goes there, and his car was stolen. Right, his car was gone. Like, the odds of it was his car.
1,000 to 1 plus.
1,000 to 1 plus. I mean, like, it's incredible. And like the most fucked up thing was, like, the guy's job, he's a courier. So he uses his car to drive and make deliveries. And he can't work without his car.
It's the equivalent of Tim getting banned from McDonald's is what happened to this guy. Like, life-shattering stuff. Like, his well-being was attacked by Elsa. He used to put those gloves back on, keep the frozen shit to himself. We don't want to build snowmans with Tim Anderson, yeah, okay? This guy, he used to understand his powers, Kenny.
Like, I'm worried. I'm scared.
Very
powerful. Because I hugged him at least half a dozen times.
I shook his hand, too. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
It's the downfall of the Mayo Media Network. Shit's over. Or someone actually listens to the show and hears some of the shit that I say, and we get kicked off or something. Something's going to happen.
But you can always come back from an Andercurse to some degree.
I really hope this guy does come back, because he'll be broken, like homeless because of Tim. Like, honestly, like, not even joking. Like, he could be homeless and broke because of Tim.
I think there was some sort of profound fundraising going on for this dude. I think we need to reinvestigate, make sure it happens. So, Stefan, we love you, brother. Even if I'll put a few bucks on Harry Hall. Kenny, you should put a few bucks on Harry Hall as well. If it cashes, we send it off to Stefan.
Okay, all right. Harry Hall, I do like Harry Hall. Again, let's get back to golf after that. But it was insane, guys. It literally scared me to my core.
I think we need to contact the Vatican for
especially
like this. This is insane.
Especially since he killed Maggie Smith the day before. Like, his powers were like on point. Like in Montreal. Like, they were like, I don't know. So I'm worried. But we'll see how it goes. Let's get back to the golf.
But it would have happened to you by now, Kenny. It's instant. He followed me on Twitter, and my computer froze that day.
Oh, okay. See, I got to sit. The thing is, I got to sit next to Fluff on the ride. Like,
Fluff is probably catching.
I feel like life is gearing me up for like a huge fall. Yeah, that's basically what the fuck I feel like is going to happen. Now, like the one that like Jaden Daniels breaking his leg next week or something like that. That would probably be the worst thing in my life right now. And that's pretty sad. I get
not
it.
For you, then.
But that would probably be like the worst thing that could happen to me in my life. And Tim has actually been good about that. Like, if you listen to him on shows, he doesn't talk about Jaden because he knows that, like, I might kill him. I might murder him if he curses Jaden. And he's even said it on the show. He's like, oh, Kenny, don't worry. I'm not going to say anything about it. You guys talk about this part. Tim, I respect that. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's go, Commanders. How fucking fun is it to watch those guys play every fucking week? Ooh, Tambo's a Ravens fan. Tambo's a Ravens fan. That's 2 weeks from now. Am I jumping ahead? No, it's this week, right? Yeah, it's this week. Coming up, Ravens, Lamar versus Jaden. Anyways, let's get back to golf. Harry Hall. I do like him. Long enough off the tee. Again, wedge game is his super strength. A couple of good finishes across the pond here recently. I don't know how popular he will be. Who do you like in the 8K range?
Thorbjornsson and Chanimal. I love those two, Kenny, that you mentioned at the top there, 89, 88. Give me Patrick Rogers. I think he's kind of undercover here as well. Him and Killer Keith, same situation. You know, they get themselves into contention every now and then, just can't quite seal the deal. But if you think about what Rogers does well, nukes it off the tee, huts it. Let's go. Keeping it simple this week with Patrick Rogers. I would love Kevin Yu this week if he never won last week. So we're going to go with that exact same narrative we were going away from for Keith. And then Kenny, I really, really fancy this top of the board here. So I think I'm going to have to keep it light in this 8K range and just go like superstars and scrubs because, you know, the rest of these guys in the lower 8K range, I feel like I can find similar values in the 7s. So I think that's how.
Who do you like in the 7s? Go ahead.
Yeah. Matthew McCarty, obviously, is a guy I'm going to monitor. Ownership, we'll see. 20% McCarty not going to be on the board. Matty Schmidt, however, $7,900, someone I'm in the mood for. Mac Mazda, obviously a fan of him. And then Jacob Bridgman and Daniel Berger might be the two guys that I pivot on heavily, where I'm owning 25 to 33%, maybe even 50% of these guys in a GPP. You know, I'm going to go heavy on these two dudes. They're both playing great golf right now. They're both mispriced, in my opinion. If they were in the 8K range here, no one would bat an eye after what they did last week. So I'm cool with these two dudes being my guys. A little bit of Alex Smalley had a phenomenal approach game last week as well. So he's looking good. Bud Coley, $7,400. Also, he's one of the short hitters that can make all the putts at this kind of venue. So played nicely last week as well. So got a lot of names in this range that I fancy over that 8K range in a big way.
My final cash game cornerstone is going to be Mac Meisner at $7,800. He's made a bunch of like 4 of his last 5 cuts. Again, average length, but he can usually poke it into the fairway. Really good on par 5s. Really strong with his wedges. That's why I do like him a lot. His wedge game is his strength. I think we will see a bunch of that this week. And again, another guy who's top 10 in birdies or better in the last 24 rounds in this field, if I'm looking correctly. Top 20 in this field. He's 18th in this field in the last 24 rounds. I do like Mac Meisner. My cash game cornerstones for this week are going to be Patrick Fishburne at 9,600, Lucas Glover at 9,000. I forgot who my third cash game cornerstone was. Was it Chan Kim? Chan Kim at 8,900 and Mac Meisner at 7,800, at least around 15K or more to make out the rest of your lineups. Other guys I do like in this range. I like Kazire again.
Yeah.
Went for his win and an 11th last week. Why not go with the hottest fucking
rolling
there is? Like, why at this price? Why the fuck not? Give me him, a guy who's won on tour again, his 3rd time on tour, multiple winner in this field, a guy who knows that we know that can finish and who has finished recently. I'll go back to him.
He could be $8,600. No one would bat an eye to Patton.
Yeah. Easy.
Dude. 9K?
Misprice. Another guy in this tournament who's won big boy events. Really cheap. I know he's not playing the best, but Dick Taylor, $7,400. Somebody who's beaten the big boys, going up against guys like this on a resort type course. Maybe he can catch fire at 400? 73? I'll take a risk. I don't expect him to be super highly owned either. So, a minimal risk, high reward type guy. Seaweed Doug Gim. I'll go back to him again with his iron play. His wedge play is excellent. Again, average off the tee distance, but supremely accurate. He's not like super below average. He's not like short. He's like average, right? And so, so he's going to hit a lot of fairways with that. I like your Berger call. I like your Bridgman call. Chandler Phillips, again, a guy who can get sort of hot on the greens, right? He sort of goes against the mold when it comes here, but his putter is so strong that, I think I could get behind him at a place like this. When it gets a little bit lower, maybe a little bit of Nick Hardy. Again, long enough off the tee, good on par fives. Tee to green, he's exceptionally good, and an iron play is really strong. Norlander, again, really good showing last week, and of course, that he enjoys, but the numbers get him back again this week with his iron play, his tee to green. His wedge play is well above average, especially for his price point. Cam Champ, we saw like a glimpse or two, in the last year. It's been a little bit rough for him, but if we're going to get back to a course where you can just pound it out there, and maybe put your way in and get lucky, he's a guy who can hit a 350 off the tee, and maybe 380 this week. Maybe that's going to play a huge advantage. Who knows? And I could take a risk at single-digit ownership, probably. Again, anybody else in this low 7K range? What about TPC Lee? The KH Lee event, who's really strong on desert-type courses. Really lots of rounds in the 60s. I think 11 or 12 rounds in the 60s in his last, 4, 5, 6 years on desert courses, like one of the most there is on tour. I saw that somewhere on Twitter. I would give credit, but I do not remember who posted that, but I thought that was interesting that he was up there. Who do you like in this low 7K?
David Skins. Let's go back. I mean, he was first-round leader last weekend. He came out firing. Not entirely sure where he landed up finishing. That's the thing, though. You got to wait for him to get hot at the right time. Volatility through the roof, $7,200. Give me that. Hayden Springer, $7,300, Kenny. Guy can ball out when he needs to. Sammy Valimaki, $7,100. Pearson Cootie, $7,200. I like these guys. So, and I cannot lie. I think that these are the guys we're looking for here. And Cootie wasn't the brother WD last week. So he's safe. He putts well. Guy can ball out. So I like these dudes, good putters or good drivers of the golf ball. Big factors this week for me. And then I'll just roll into a few 6K guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who I bet the Chiefs or the Saints. So go ahead with the 6K.
So Roger Sloan at $6,600.
All right, Chiefs. They're up 7-0. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Back to your regular paid broadcasting. We got Roger Sloan here at 66. Will Gordon, 66. Alejandro Tosti, Kenny. I love him at $6,500. Very good upside. Love that. Peter Quest, one of the best records for the PGA Tour versus KFT. Okay? This guy is incredible. Kenny, stay with me. We're doing this thing, okay? Here's your boy, Peter. Okay? Kevin Doherty and Rafael Campos to round it out there at 64, 63. Those are some names in the 6K range. Kenny's going to miss them. Tune back in. Those are some bombs. I love them.
Yeah, I mean, those are the guys I'm looking at. Sloan, his length off the tee. What about this? This guy hasn't played in a long time. Nicholas Lindheim. I used to play him years ago. I can't remember the last time I've seen him on a PGA. I'm sure he has been, and I've just missed him down here in the doldrums of the 6K range in a field like this, but like in his prime, the wedge game was his best part of the game, right? So you could throw that in there with a guy who's going to be 2% owned, 1% owned. You can go out there, you can flyer, you can be 10% of it, right? And be 10 times the field average. Somebody like that is the only different, maybe Ryan Moore. I know he's a plotter, but his iron game is exceptionally strong. And of course his wedge game is very, very good. Like one of the best in the field from 125 to 175. It's going to give him a little bit added boost off the tee with the elevation. He'll poke it out a little bit farther. So he should be in that 125 to 175 range a bunch. That is his strength. Somewhere down there at the 6,700 mark. But you went over Quest and you went over Toasty. There's guys. There's guys that are playing in this field that's been so long that their 24 rounds go back a decade.
Yeah, right.
Like
Michael Wiggins playing.
As you look at Scott Gostkowski, right? Like at $6,200, like I can't. I don't know who he is. Like
he's a tank, Kenny. He's a big boy.
The name sounds like it would be a large dude.
It's like if you took Stuart Sink and shrunk him by a foot and took that foot and widened him. That's where you just shrink Stuart Sink.
Dude, he's played a lot of events this year.
Yeah, but he's
made 2 cuts.
Yeah, it's not good. He's not a good golfer. He's a unit. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it. Don't.
No.
Because, I mean, I was looking at his stats and I was like, okay, the one thing you can do is hit a wedge, right? That's like the one thing you can do. And then you look at his, like, finishes. I don't even know how he's still playing.
It's old, like, medical exemptions and like, stuff.
It's wild. No, I haven't seen that many MCs since, like, you know, I don't know, Wu-Tang was on the fucking stage. It's been a while.
Let's go.
It's been a while. I saw Wu-Tang and a Snoop show one time. I went with this chick, and she was a fucking loser. And so, like, during the middle of the show, I just kept, like, I'd be like, I'll be back. And I just, you know, went as close to the stage as possible. I was like 2 rows back at Jiffy Lube Live. And it was great because Snoop had, like, strippers. Like in the poles, like they had stripper poles and strippers were doing all wild shit in the middle of the show. It was great. And I was like right there. It was like, you know, every Friday night. I'm kidding. I don't go that often. But the greatest thing was, like, you know, I was like in a one passing train. At this point, you know, it's legal in Virginia. And so, like, I'm literally, it's just me. And I'll be honest, it's like me and like hundreds of black people. Okay. That's what it was. In the middle,
the first version of the Black Desert Classic.
There you go. It was me and like hundreds of black people. But it was great because, like, I was just getting people pass blunt after blunt after blunt after blunt, pass it in and twice, pass it. 30 seconds later, another one will be by. It was glorious. And I totally forgot about the girl that I was with. I have no idea how she got home.
Oh, you didn't see her again?
I just didn't see her again. I just didn't see her. You wonder why I'm like 40. I was a little bit younger. I guess I was like 37.
Yeah.
So yeah. No wonder, you know, I'm 40 plus years old and I'm single. So there you go.
Hey, but you've been
definitely reasons for this, people. Definitely reasons. All right. Anything else that we need to speak about this evening?
Oh, I had something. Yeah, we are on episode 389. Okay,
so
that is it.
I think we got like 6 more in the fall, or 5 more in the fall. So we're looking like California swing, big 4-0 for the big 400. I think Pebble. Maybe
I think that's what we said. I think that's what we said. It would end up on Pebble. Yeah, for that.
And 420 could end up being like the PGA or the US Open or the Open Championship as well.
It would be like every normal podcast that we ever see. No changes at all.
I might have to participate attached, but we'll see.
Be hilarious.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if the pod could run though. Really, like someone's got to be
maybe
a little sober. At least Mike.
I think I can do it.
Mike's usually sober, right?
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah.
Okay.
I've also been scourging all of the sports books, and there is no prop to hit a hole-in-one. So I think
there will be.
There will be eventually.
There will be.
Tuesdays, Wednesdays is usually when. Mondays is like a real day for books.
It's Monday at 9 o'clock Eastern right now, and it's still
sometimes Bet Rivers. Bet Rivers still 7-0 Chiefs. Bet Rivers usually gets it done for you too.
Thank you, Dak Prescott. Yeah. Like randomly, I mean, I usually hate you, fuck the Cowboys, right? But you know, when it comes to gambling, Cowboys money line last night. Gotta love it. That last second play held me out. That actually broke me positive for the week, including golf, by like $7. And I've bet like $1,100 in all forms. And so after that bet, I was up $7.
That's a return on interest. That's a return on investment right there, Kenny.
$7. Better than the Procore. Oh, actually, no. Procore, I won a shit ton on Underdog. I forgot about that. I won the first 2 weeks, the first 2 rounds on Underdog. Underdog always be saving my life. Let's get to the end because I do want to pump Underdog again. Byron, tell them what they can find.
At the Model Maniac on X, baby. Back 9 bets on Tuesdays on Mayo Media Network. I'll be going through all my bets through the model, kind of just giving you a bit more detail from the model side of things tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on Mayo Media, right on this channel that you're finding us.
Find my shizzle on gupscorner.com. Use promo code Kenny. Save yourself 30% on a sub to Gups Corner. So I was thinking about doing this one time on the show. So when I used to work in a restaurant, let's win some motherfucking money. DGen Nation.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Belfort. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping these birds. Sipping on Ciroc, trip 'em up with the words. I done popped the Molly and I think it's be my third. Jordan Belfort.
I wanted to end the show first so we could do this in OT. I used to work in restaurants for like decades, for 20 years. In the last 10 years, I was just fine dining restaurant. I was busy all the time. And we had a big spiel, right, at the beginning because it's a celebration restaurant. People would come in, try to make them feel fancy, stuff like that, right? And so I had a different voice. I don't even know. I'm going to see if I can do it again. Because I used to get so many also, Underdog Fantasy. Yeah, I forgot. I was going to pump them up, but I forgot. I've had so many guests. I used to be very popular. I had regulars, and so a lot of them would say I should be in radio because of this voice and the way I usually talk on the podcast and stuff like that. I sound like, I don't know, random. I don't know. I don't sound great. How about that? Okay. I talk too fast. Blah, blah, blah. That's how I go. But when I worked, I had this voice. It was like Barry White meets Morgan Freeman, right?
Come on, Kenny.
And so
I need a table. Have you got a table for me? Table 12.
I don't know if I can do it anymore. It came from the diaphragm. So let me pull the camera up so you can see because I have to sit up straight for this. All right. What's going on? It's been so long.
All right.
It's been so long. You know what? I'm going to practice it this week. I'm going to practice it because I've been thinking about it in my head, but I haven't actually done it, right? Because I sort of want to do a show in that voice, just randomly, and not let anybody know. And pretend it's 100% normal. You guys have to be in on it.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time in OT, there's 4 people listening to you. 4 people listening right now. Thank you. I don't know why. You probably have a lot of better stuff to do. But thank you so much. But I do want to do that. Now, it's been about 5 years. So maybe the cigarette smoke and I don't know, all that stuff. Maybe I can't do it anymore because I just tried to do it right there and it did not feel natural.
Well, you got to open up the pipes. You can't just you can't
have to practice. And the thing is I might not be able to do it while I sit down. It might because
the whole podcast standing
opera
up.
Singers, everything's from the stomach up, for opera singers. You know what I'm saying? And when you sit down, your stomach is constricted, right?
Your belt buckles in your belly.
That's why when you sit down, your belly looks 3 times as big as it is when you're standing. Okay, and right now that's how it feels like to me. And so maybe I have to stand, but I will practice. And then I'll maybe mock it on OT one time, and then one show,
bring it, baby,
randomly, not even during the fall swing. I want people to listen. We'll do it regular season, but like a good event that's not like the Honda or something like that, right? And I can do that voice, and I'll do it, and then I won't tell anyone, and we'll all have to be in on it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Caramel Morgan, I can get behind it. I think
I'm gonna bust out laughing when he goes, "What is going on?"
I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna practice. You guys are going to hear it. Give me until the end of the fall swing, and I'll have it back.
Yeah, I'm Kenny. I love this. maybe we can do a few minutes of the show in Afrikaans as well, where I'll just go for like 2 minutes. No one understands anything. We'll cater to, going to be catered to the Afrikaanse mense back by the Ace.
We should do that for like
golf.
Okay, I got to tell a story. So I got a buddy. He listens to the show. I love him. But he's a fucking idiot, okay? All right, so I'll just say that. He's a fucking idiot. But I love him, right? And so he called me one day. And he's like, me and Tambo were doing the show. And he's like, what was wrong with you guys on the show? I was like, what do you mean? What was wrong with us? He's like, you guys sound like you were fucking wasted the whole entire time. Like, you sound like you were drunk or on K, like something, right? Like the whole time. Like, what was wrong with you guys? I was like,
I know what happened.
And I went back and I was like, I don't hear anything wrong, brother. Like, what are you talking about? And then, like, we finally figured it out together. Like, after a while, like, he'd put it on and I'd put it on. I was like, something's wrong. And like, what speed do you have the show on? And he looks like, oh, it's in 0.5 speed. He was like, half speed. So of course you sound fucked up.
What's going on?
Eric Cole, he's going to win this week. Of course, like what would you expect? I love that dude, but he's like the biggest fucking idiot I've ever met in my life. But I love him. Everyone has friends like that. Fucking moron. All right. Anything else this week? You got anything you want to add? You got?
We had some really good non-OT OT. We had some early OT, Kenny. We had some fun stuff going on early.
I don't even remember.
The 8K range just got completely blown up. Like, whoever the Harry Hall.
You know what? I don't think you play anybody in 8K now. Because you talked about Tim and the Andercurse. It's done.
You know what I feel bad? I feel bad for you, Mike, because the time codes for this show's got to be a fucking mess.
I've got them. I got them under control.
I was just busting shit out in the middle of like a sentence. Like I would be talking like literally about the course and like what type of, and I was like, oh, and just go off into some Wu-Tang stripper story. Like I don't know what was going on. But like that was like literally like it was so random.
It was beautiful, Kenny. You were in good form, bud. It's nice to see this from the very beginning. You know, usually I see you pop an Eddie while we, halfway through the show.
It's the fall. No one's watching.
The fall, baby. The fall of the king.
Fuck. I'll be eyes fuck the whole show and not to give two shits what the fuck I say.
Oh, you see Emily in Paris. Sorry, Emily in Paris. New season episodes came out. The second half of the new season.
You're late. That shit came out like a month ago.
No, the second half. The second half just came out.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It came out like a month ago. I've watched it all. The night it came out, people. Come on.
Well, I watched most of it last night.
Stupid bitch-ass Emily needs to listen to the goddamn...
Oh, no.
Okay, well, she needs to listen to the chef. Because what the chef said to her in that first episode of the second part of the season, where, just learn my language, bitch. Like, you've been here for 3 fucking years. Like... I'm trying to do everything I can for your ass and tell you my problems, but English ain't my shit. I live in France. I live in Paris, France. Why do I have to talk American the whole fucking time to you? Why, bitch? Learn some French. You've been there long enough, you stupid whore.
I get it. She's good. She's a good one.
She made me mad this season.
She's only sleeping with 2 people at the same
time.
She
made me mad this season because the dude was 100% correct.
Oh,
100% correct.
Yes.
Like she is not making fucking any effort to learn the language. That shit's fucking important. If you really want to know what Gabrielle is feeling, and he's not giving you his feelings, learn the language. Learn the language.
Wow, did not expect to get you this worked up over Emily in Paris.
They got this other little sidekick girl that they added.
Minnie.
Like, you don't know if you like or hate, right? Like in season 4, in this new back half.
Oh, the daughter of
you're going to like, and the thing is, like, this girl is doing everything that Emily did.
But can't speak.
Everything that Emily did in the beginning of the show. Every single thing. Like, literally to a T. Same exact way. And Emily's throwing shade on that bitch.
Because she knows. She knows.
Girl, that was you. Like, 2 seasons ago. That was you. Like, have you seen those tweets? Like, is this you? Like, when you say something stupid and someone goes through your old tweets, like, is this you? Is this you, bitch?
The Spider-Man pointing beam.
Emily, is this you, bitch? Learn the language and get better. So, yeah, she's sort of like, I sort of hate watched it with her this season.
Damn, Kenny.
Like, she's rubbing me the wrong way. And I don't know, she messed it up with the, okay, you guys haven't watched this. I can't even talk about it. I will talk about that show for hours.
Yeah.
Okay. I do not give a fuck.
Ultimatum. Emily in Paris done by next week. We're talking about Emily in Paris all the way.
It's our home.
It's a great show.
In OT.
It's a great show. I'm a fan. You know who her father is?
Like in real life?
No. Phil motherfucking Collins. That motherfucker.
Wow, really?
That makes.
Hold on.
They should just play that in the.
This moment with all my life. Hold on.
Tarzan. Tarzan was my first introduction to Phil Collins.
Do you remember?
How to speak the French.
That's it. I'm going.
All right.
Well, yeah. That's Phil Collins' daughter.
Wow. Didn't expect that.
Yeah. I thought she was like, I don't know, she looks like Anne Hathaway to me. Like, she looks like a cross between Anne Hathaway and Emmy Rossum. Emmy Rossum, one of my favorite shows, Shameless, because she's butt-ass naked and tits banging the whole time. It's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Titties just flying all the show. It's great. I love that show.
Yes. It's a good show, Kenny.
You guys love titties flying. You know what I like.
Always when the
I like the bounce of titties.
No, you keep that camera pointing up, dude. I don't want to see what's going on with us. And Hathaway.
Right, I'm all sweaty. I'm missing the game. Are we good?
Let's go.
Did we record all of that?
Oh yeah, it's full recorded.
That's gonna be wild.